Well, none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots, yeah. None of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots. I'm telling you now, the truth, the truth. Telling you, yeah, the truth, the truth. You have to go back to the roots, the roots. Go to the roots, to the roots. Yeah, man, this is Benjamin out of the Smiling Coast, West Africa, Gambia, representing for the one and only Abu, the big man you don't know, the Soninke warrior, the man that brings the truth, Soninke warrior, the sign of enlightenment, the Soninke warrior, the righteous and the true African. Abu, reveal the truth to them, no matter how them try run from it, because none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Yes, we have to dig back the roots, yeah. Fire!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Afridamus Report. I'm your host, Afridamus. I want to welcome all of you to another edition of the Afridamus Report, Sunday edition. And ladies and gentlemen, today's topic is going to be about America versus infiltrators. I know some of you are going to probably start having explosion in your brain saying, what is he talking about? Because in case you haven't been paying attention to a lot of the things that are happening, which, by the way, it is very difficult to not notice unless you bury your head in the sand. But for most people, they probably are seeing things that are out of place. They know it's not normal, but they don't know how to react to these things. So I would help give you the words, on how to, process a lot of the things that you're seeing. For me, and for most people that have been paying attention, this is deja vu all over again. I'm sure many of you have heard about the school shootings that's been taking place. Here, I said that's been taking place as if it's ongoing. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it is, but I have seen this movie before. I've seen this movie before. And for some reason, it's the same players, the same actors in the movie. I'm not talking about the shooters and victims. I'm talking about those who somehow try to take advantage of this situation. Because it seems like there is two camps. There is people who believe in America, Americans, right? The Americans, they believe in the Constitution, the freedom of speech, the Second Amendment, which is the right to bear arms. But for some reason, the freedom of speech in America, just in case you haven't been noticing, have slided way side, because you have to follow a certain narrative for you to be, like, you have to have the right thinking, and somebody else have to decide what that right thinking is. So at one point, this same constitution, the videos that I'm about to show here today, by the way, gave power to these very players. And I'm going to, paint scenarios for you that would, give you connections so that you see exactly what I'm talking about. So during Obama's term, Obama was president for 8 years. I'm sure most of you know this, right? So during Obama's time, there were several mass shootings. And at the time, Obama was the president and Joe Biden was the vice president. So today, if you look at what is happening, for instance, like I think 3 years ago, I mean, probably less than that. So I listen to what people say, because when you come on television, a lot of these things that these people are going to implement and they believe in, they will say it casually. So you, the individual, you're the one refusing to hear what is being said because they play with your mind. They use emotions to play with your mind because emotions is what got Obama elected. You see? So I've been watching this like a game of football because coming from outside, right? Entering America, you have to realize one thing: whether the politics consume you or you consume the politics, there is two sides. There is the American people, who many will probably call, they call the Republicans, the real Republicans, and even the Democrats. They all believed in the Constitution. I remember there was a time when they would have these hot debates on national television, even CNN, Fox. They would have these debates about the Constitution, those who believe in it. And to believe in it was their litmus test. They would say, do you believe in the founding fathers? Until like Obama came. Obama was a constitutional lawyer himself. Yes, he accepted and allowed the Constitution to dictate because you see, one side believe in letting you be you, you follow the law. They don't want to infringe on your rights. But now you have another side who, if you notice, they want to control your like your way of thinking, your humanity. Because if you pay attention, I'm not speaking to individuals. I'm speaking about an agenda here. You as an individual, what you believe in versus what you are voting for and who you are supporting. Because I'm going to show you things that I have seen with my own eyes, and you, as you have seen it too, but maybe you weren't paying attention. Blatant lies. You would see people that believe in crazy, crazy things that you and I and many others would see as crazy. But those people are teaching your children. They are telling you things, smoothing it off to make it sound normal. So people are literally sacrificing their children. So this is why I said, the blacks, women, and children are the cannon fodder, meaning they're expendable. They're expendable because here is how it's played. With black people, with their history, you use blacks for race and create a division there. And if you've been paying attention, the racial tension in America started heightening up when Obama, majority white people voted for him. Eventually, he flipped the script on the American people. They started with the gay marriage. If you guys remember that, it used to be, oh, love is love. We just want to allow, want people to see us as the same. Which, by the way, if somebody loves two people are in love, to me, I don't know why in a country that is free, it's necessary for everybody to be involved in this quote unquote love. But that's how it was sold. And many people who even say they believe in God, because you see, I started seeing the hypocrisy from the get go. So I wasn't looking at it from a political point of view because I'm not part of a group. But they they are in an ideology, but they don't even realize, because in America, most people, went from being having their own mind to now somebody dictating to them who they should or shouldn't like. So that's where the emotions come into play. And I will show you that. So they said love is love to where we are today, to where, literally, even if you say you cannot express that you, as a person, you are in a quote unquote, they call it heterosexual, marriage, right? Straight people, which is the majority of people, not only in America, all around the world. So you have a minority that dictates to you, right? That dictates to you how you, like, you have to accept this. And many people have accepted it through the power of the government. And this started with Obama. He came in, he used the black, the black skin, and people went for it. He used emotion. They said love is love. And now we know love isn't love, because now it's going to, man, boy, love. We will get to that. So many people say they have high moral standards. They say they believe in God. They started saying, Obama, they said, you cannot pray to God in the schools. In a free country, mind you, a country whose founding is based on God. The money said, in God we trust. And then the soft, fake, quote unquote Christians, they put, they played into it. They're like, oh yeah, and I'm watching all this. I said, this is not right. By the way, I voted for Obama, right? At the time, I wasn't fully, hip into the American, political system. I was brainwashed by the media at the time. So some of you that are watching me, trust me, some of the things that I'm going to say, the way I'm going to analyze it, is going to blow your mind. But just stick with me. I'm not here to try to convince you of anything. Everything that I'm saying here is based on how I'm looking at things and interpreting it, and also basing it on facts. And these things you yourself can look up. It's not based, because you see, emotions, which they are pushing, emotions kill debates. Because when the person starts making things personal and they start screaming, now the conversation is dead. This is where they pushed America to, hence explaining what is going on. So Obama's first term went by, which, I voted for him, as you guys can see. But I didn't even know what I was voting for, to be quite honest. I didn't even know. It was what was trendy, which many people, in fact, that's what they vote along. It was just trendy. But then I listened to the things he talks about, the things he pushes. I was like, wait a minute. Like, I don't believe in these things. I don't believe in them, which explains why during Obama's time, his time throughout in his office, I suffered, because I added onto my own suffering. Gas prices were high, the stock economy was terrible, job numbers were bad, inflation was high, school shootings. It's almost like deja vu. It's like the same thing that happened in the past is happening again. Let me show you here. Give me a second. And all right, I'm going to play this under the copyright rules. I'll show you how many shootings happened during Obama's time. And just pay attention and count how similar what they would remind you of. And I'll tell you, based on, what he tweeted and what he is talking about, it tells me the agenda is tied to this. Watch.
I've had to make statements like this too many times. We don't have all the facts, but we do know that, once again, innocent people were killed in part because someone who wanted to inflict harm had no trouble getting their hands on a gun.
You hear the language he used. He said somebody that is trouble. He had no trouble laying his hand on the gun, right? So right then and there, he's focusing your mind, the viewer, based in emotion, that ding, ding, ding in the back of your head, you're saying, hey, then why don't you take the guns? Because they want to take the guns from the American people and turn America into Australia for some reason, right? And American people are seeing what is happening to Australia, in Australia and in the UK during the, you know, the coup, right? They lock them down. If they, the people that oppose it, they take them to concentration camps. But Americans did not experience that because Americans have the right to bear arms, and there's millions and millions of guns in the hands of Americans. But if you look at it, why would any logical person, right, think that the response to a shooting is to tell you to give up your gun? That wouldn't make sense. You have to come up with another solution. But Mother Emanuel is a black church. So for 4 years during, previous administration, such shootings didn't happen. If in fact mass shootings, when you hear it, is in black on black in black neighborhoods, they don't talk about that because that is not part of the agenda. That doesn't capture the attention. That's not what media wants to focus on. But it's the same thing. But they don't want. That's not the right color.
It may be hard to comprehend the twisted logic that led to this tragedy, but this much we do know. No faith justifies these murderous and craven acts. No just and loving God looks upon them with favor. Already, we've seen a national conversation commence, not only about the motivations behind these killings, but about everything from the merits of gun safety laws to the adequacy of our mental health system. That all across this land of ours, we have wept with you. Whatever measure of comfort we can provide, we will provide. There are going to be other days for politics. This, I think, is a day for prayer and reflection. As president, I have now grieved with 5 American communities ripped apart by mass violence. And these mass shootings occur against a backdrop of daily tragedies, as an epidemic of gun violence tears apart communities across America. Any shooting is troubling. Obviously, this reopens the pain of what happened at Fort Hood 5 years ago. At some point, we as a country will have to reckon with the fact that this type of mass violence does not happen in other advanced countries. And at some point, it's going to be important for the American people to come to grips with it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, all those shootings are very similar to what is happening today, what has already happened. And if you don't believe, you don't have to believe me. Don't believe a word I'm saying. Go back and listen to Joe Biden's speech he just gave. Just go back and listen. It's like they pull out the same script, literally. Go back and listen. It's almost word for word. Joe Biden said such shootings don't happen in civilized any advanced nation, just like Obama said. Go back and listen. Go back and listen. But if you think about it, just a couple of weeks ago, last week, a couple of weeks ago, they were supporting, abortion, killing babies. They supported this, right? So this is what I'm saying. People, something confusing is happening. If you're paying attention, you will see. You will see what is being pushed on you and your children. Think about it. Now the government, right? Literally anything that is natural for you and moral for you. And they are telling you in many words, that's the wrong way to live life. I told you a story where a Pakistani guy took his son to a hospital. I think his son, he had some little mental issues. For some reason in America, most of the children, they have mental issues. How could they have to look at what they have to go through. Imagine you showing up to schools, you're a little kid. We're seeing videos of this. You have some teacher, a little kid, telling you about their sexuality, talking about they are pansexual. You know, literally, you as a parent at home, you don't teach your kids these things. You know that these things are inappropriate as far as you're concerned. So the people that you call a leader, somebody that you support, they are supporting this. So you are giving your support morally by putting them in power so they can push that agenda. I don't know if people think about this that way. I do not support people. I support the truth. It's one thing if you want to live your life a certain way, but it's another when you say, I have to recognize, you know, for instance, let's keep it real. You guys heard about this swimmer? The one guy, he called himself Leah Thompson, right? It's fine. If you say you are a man, or let's say you say you're a woman, that's fine. That's what you're telling yourself. But now it's another thing to try to force me to see you as something that you are not. So literally, you're forcing me to be crazy like you. So that's not freedom. That's not freedom. I bet you people, the things that I'm saying here, this would be considered extreme when this is what is supposed to be the normal conversation. People are afraid to have this honest conversation. To a point, I was thinking about it. I said, do people realize what is going on? They are sacrificing their children. If your I mean, there is over 200,000 schools in America. I don't to say that there's going to be mass shootings at all these schools. No, that's not realistic. I get that. You see, I get that. But now you ask yourself, of all the things you're seeing a person, you're seeing a group of people that are pushing an agenda. They have the power to push this, and that's all they are pushing. 1 minute they are talking about murdering babies. If you don't believe me, I mean, in fact, here, let me show you. Just a couple of weeks ago, the quote unquote vice president of the United States. Think about your president coming in front of you. They are fighting for a law to allow people to be able to murder children. These people are saying 1 minute they want to murder children, they want to pass laws. Another minute they come and say they are sad. And if you notice, they seem to, quote unquote, be more sad than everybody else. They put the other side on defense. Those who say, let's pray to God, for their safe passage into heaven. Oh, how dare you say pray in the name of God? They are against that. So that's not freedom. You have, a vice president and a president that would literally, just say anything. But you see, in most other countries, there isn't that much consequences. But in the United States, there is consequences for this. And we're seeing it in the schools. Not only the shooting, that's just one aspect. The psychological trauma. People just want to point fingers and say maybe that shooter, he's evil, whatsoever. His background, things are coming out. He suffered from some, issues, obviously. Someone that's going to go shoot a school. He's an 18-year-old. If you look at it in these schools, they have what they call counselors. Counselors, right? I happen to know some of the things that these counselors talk about with these kids because I told you, I'm a parent. My son, at the time when they said that every stage they give him, they said, this is the counselor. I would go and have conversation with the counselor. And I would let them know, look, I don't want you trying to push your ideas in his head. He's here to learn how to read and write. You guys teach him that. I would do the rest. Because why would you allow complete strangers to put ideas in your child's head? That's what happened to one Pakistani. Took his son to the hospital. He came back. He asked for the son to pick the son up. They almost arrested him for even saying his real name. I think his name was like Ali or Muhammad, something like that. They are like, no, he doesn't identify like that anymore. He's like, oh no, that's my son. They said, no, he's no longer a son. Now he identifies as she, her, they, because it's not only one agenda. And the hospital are imposing this. And guess who? And they have the power to do this. Guess where this power is coming from? From these very people that most of you vote for and you fight over. You're not listening to what they are saying. So these shooters that you're seeing, they must have a handler. I understand people have deep mental issues, spiritual issues. But have you ever asked yourself, what is it about this shooter especially, right? These last two we've seen, the Buffalo one, very suspect. It's coming out that there was an ex-FBI that befriended him. And this other shooter in Texas, 1 minute they said they bullied him because he is a transgender. But then now, in this news clip, they are giving us a different news. Hear what they said, what pushed him to go shoot up the school. It's almost the same pattern, just like during Obama's time. Any state, Texas just did you can openly buy the gun, because last summer, you guys have seen in America what happened in the major cities. And if you notice, these mass shootings, you don't hear about school shootings happening in the inner city, do you? There's a reason for that. Okay? Because the inner city schools, they are big brick buildings, and they usually have security measures. When you hear shootings around those schools, it's usually a targeted one, like a gang beef or something. But no, let me play the reason they are giving for the shooter in Texas, Uvalde, Texas. Let's hear them out.
The teenage killer, officials saying he spent 40 minutes to an hour inside the school before a member of the U.S. Border Patrol shot and killed him.
We have several reports tonight, starting with Josh Einiger following the latest developments. He's in the newsroom. Josh?
Well, Sade Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas may be just the latest place of learning to be thrust into the endless national debate on guns, but in many ways it's far too late to have that debate in Uvalde, a small community drowning in unfathomable pain. They were little kids, but still old enough to dream. They played sports and musical instruments. They were planning their summers. Their whole lives lay ahead of them. Until a teenager they'd never met armed himself to the teeth, legally, and slaughtered them all.
Somebody would have hurt my baby.
Now Uvalde, Texas is a cauldron of grief after one person stole so much from families like.
So from this place, the news that is coming out from Texas there, they said they left the door open, propped open, like terror assassin is saying. And the police also ran away for whatever reason. Because there's conflicting stories coming out. But then again, in one breath, they are the people that say they care so much about the children. Again, think about this, right? There is a group out there who is telling you that they care about the children more than you yourself, more than you. This is why I say I don't know what is going on in America. It's like there's this dark force that infiltrated, that is holding the country hostage. If you don't believe me, check this out. Check this out. If this right here seem right to you, here we go.
Poor hubby. Poor hubby.
He knows how to sell right there. Okay.
That's enough. Guys, imagine they said that is the president, because they interchange it, vice president, right? Imagine that, right? So Kamala, the one I just showed, they said she's the vice president. So she gave a speech. She said she is tired of these gun mass shootings. Her heart is broken. But I will show you what her response was about Roe v. Wade, when they said literally what that is. They wanted to give the power to the states to decide, on abortion, not the federal government. But they use the media and their power to try to mislead the public. So this week, her heart is broken because they said those kids are dead. But last week, before that, let's see what she was supporting.
America are under attack. If the court overturns Roe v. Wade, it will be a direct assault on freedom, on the fundamental right of self-determination.
Meaning freedom, for you to be able to have the right to guiltlessly kill a human being inside of you. But she's like, oh no, freedom. So you see, this week she is saying, not allowing women to be able to kill their children. That's like taking away their freedom. That's what she is pushing.
To which all Americans are entitled. Roe protects the right to access abortion. It also protects a woman's right to make decisions about what she does with her own body.
Did you guys hear that? She said, yes, you can have the right to do whatever with your own body, but what about the human being inside of you, right? You don't have the right to do that. The point is, you are literally seeing people come in front of you that you're supporting, right? Because I've been thinking about the mass shooting. I said, where did I see this before? Where did I see it? I said, oh yeah, I know. And then I thought about when Obama jokingly said he would love to be in the basement and speaking through an earpiece to Joe Biden. So to try to further an agenda, which right now, I don't know if you guys know this. Right now, what they are trying to do is to give the WHO, the sole power. So now it makes you wonder who is behind all this, right? Literally, if they have that power, and like Joe Biden, they are ready to sign it over, but they cannot bypass the American Constitution. If they are able to pass that, meaning Tedros, the head of WHO, the Ethiopian communist, he would have sole power to declare pandemic on any country in the world, and nobody can question him, and you have to abide by it, or else you will be invaded. Look this up. Look this up. Every single thing, just pay attention. Every single thing that's happened during Obama. I was just reflecting. I said, oh my God, they did the church shooting that happened as well. This time in Buffalo, they didn't do the church, but they had to go to a predominantly Black area. I'm not saying they planned it. It's just too coincidental. So similar, because these people, everything that they want to pass, right, is first based in race, children, women, and the men are the enemy. Have you guys been paying attention to this? When a criminal comes to your neighborhood and they want to take over your neighborhood, who do they befriend? Not the guys. They befriend the women. They befriend the women. And if they could, the children. And the angry people. So this is why I keep talking about why anger is so terrible. Because you see, when you're angry, you are easily influenced by evil. This is why many people today in America, they easily get angry and they pretend. I see so many people who pretend like they are so hurt by the people that are killed. These people do not care. You know you don't care about these people. The people that got shot in Buffalo, you guys remember? Biden flew over there. They talked about it, but it didn't pick up steam for some reason. Now, people literally are forgetting about what happened in Buffalo. Now they're talking about Uvalde. They're talking about Uvalde. So you want, if anybody thinks that's not evil, I don't know what is. And at the same time, these shootings are happening, right? Here, let me show you. When the shooting happened in Buffalo, that same weekend, watch what happened.
To that breaking news we talked about at the top of the show, 10 people shot on Chicago and State, and this morning we've learned 2 of them are dead.
Not what we want to wake up to, but this is the news this morning. We have live team coverage. CBS 2's Marissa Power following the ongoing investigation, but we start with CBS 2's Mugu Odigwe, who's live at the scene on the near north side to break down how all of this happened. Another large unruly gathering.
Yeah, good morning, guys. This is so sad. We're told the shooting happened outside this McDonald's. Police, paramedics are no longer here, but you can tell this was a very active crime scene. We have seen the window behind the McDonald's. It is broken. We can't really show you that right now. But also on the ground, we saw some of the equipment that paramedics left behind. But take a look at this video, though, because this really gives you a sense of how intense the scene was. This is near State Street and Chicago Avenue. You can see paramedics treating people on the ground there one by one. They place some victims in a stretcher before pulling them into an ambulance. At some point, a fight even broke out between some people at the scene, and police had to step in. Then there's the window at the McDonald's where the shooting happened. Again, as I mentioned, it is shattered. Just a really busy and active scene. According to Chicago police, this shooting happened just after 10:40 last night. Again, 10 people were shot. 2 of them did not survive. One man described seeing other people.
Guys, I'm just giving you an example. Imagine what you've just seen, right? In most countries, if this happened, this would be considered war. Like, even the American media, they would call it, oh, there's civil war in that country. Ask yourself, how come you didn't hear about this? You think that one was bad? In fact, I misspoke. This one didn't happen exactly, the same week as the Buffalo one. It happened afterwards. This one here happened. And ask yourself, how come they're not talking about these things? Like, what is going on? They are just letting it happen. But they're just focused on certain targeted places. People, use your head, think about it. Something isn't right. It's almost like, the frog in the boiling water. The water is boiling slowly, but the frog doesn't know. Probably the frog knows, but it might be too late. And a lot of people, they would literally, like, for instance, this video that I showed about the Chicago. Like, you think about how terrible that is. But some, because of the way they are programmed, right? They would literally try to explain their way out of it. And it has nothing to even do with them. But they identify with the people in that video for some reason. This is what is going on in America. And it's just happening across the board. It's not only within the blacks, whites as well. But these mass shootings, except for the schools, when it comes to that, besides that one, being in neighborhoods, that's a black area for sure.
In Juneau. And Bruce, you have new details on a curfew that is set to take effect tonight.
Ryan, Milwaukee police are going to be arresting and finding anyone under 21 who's caught in this entertainment district downtown after 11 p.m. And while the atmosphere this evening is pretty good, folks are out, music's playing. I was here last night covering much of what pushed the city to enforce a curfew. Just after 11 o'clock last night, police responded to this. 17 people shot near water in Juneau.
This is the experience I will never forget.
How did it
ever.
make you feel?
Traumatizing.
Police say they arrested 10 people and recovered 10 guns. Everyone shot, police say, is expected to survive.
District 1 officers reported hearing bullets whizzing past their heads as they were there.
The shooting happened even though a lot of police were in the area. They'd responded to a separate triple shooting right as the Bucks game ended and a single shooting later. In all, 21 people were shot within 2 hours. And what does that say about respect for law enforcement?
I think it goes further than respect for law enforcement. I think it goes toward respect to human life.
Police are investigating motive, and the mayor is now imposing a curfew.
I think that anything that we can do to send the message to discourage folks from coming down is a positive thing.
Anyone under 21 will be cited for being in the entertainment district after 11 at night. Last night, we spoke with these girls, ages 16, 14, and just 13. They were hanging around one of the shooting scenes. Many other young teens walked around the area late into the night as well. Some had been at the game, others had not.
I just seen a whole lot of children. I'm not used to seeing children on Water Street.
Young people trying to have fun, and others, the city believes,
trying to stir up trouble.
It was horrifying. I was thinking about how many kids was outside in the midst of everything that was going on.
People, it is a war zone. So, like I was pondering, I said, how come? If it's truly, for instance, I saw if it's truly like it's guns that go and take people out, because that's how they present it. I remember I did a show about, a place in Waukesha around Christmas time. The white people were having their Christmas parade, and this guy came with his SUV and ran them over. You guys remember that? I bet most of you probably didn't hear about it. Even if you did, they have pushed so much anger and hatred your way and normalize hating people based on whatever you choose it to be, that the people in power are using it to divide and conquer. And they might be the infiltrators. They might be the infiltrators. You're being hit from corner to corner. And if you look at the way America is going, America is very dangerous, people. The crime rate, the murder rate is going up. And someone said, Puntad said, and they said Somalia is not safe. Look, did you not see the shooting I just showed there? Somalia might be safer. That's literally a war zone. The honest truth is, when it comes to the coverage of war, it depends on who is covering it. Because most of you, if not all, those of you that are watching me, you can agree that this is, what would you consider this? This is literally a war zone. This is what has been normalized. This is what has been normalized. You have teachers brainwashing your children. They're brainwashing people's kids. And you can't go against it. Did you see the chief medical person, the chief medical director, the federal chief medical guy? Go look the picture up. So now, right? For instance, like, okay, I can just literally say to you guys, look, now I'm no longer Afrodamus. I'm Amber. I'm a girl. You see, if I push it hard and you guys come and say, no, Afrodamus, I say, now my pronouns are she, her, but you guys flip it and keep calling me he, you can get in trouble. But you see, if it's really true, because now they are destroying science. It's not based in science. Think about that. If you call me a she, I will not be offended. I will not be, because I'm not in doubt about whether I'm a she, he, or they. You see? But now, you look at the trajectory. Now you don't know if it's a trend, because they are telling you, oh, this is science. People are born this way. Even you hear some of these parents, they would use emotions, and Obama have used emotion to push this. Joe Biden is now using emotion to push this on people. They're teaching this in schools. You see? That's why I played the Texas shooter, because they said one of the reasons why, what he was bullied on, because they said he considered himself a transgender. You look at the letters, it keeps increasing. By literally, they did the math. By 2050, I think the whole world would be transgender. And those of you that are watching me from Africa or Africans, You think this is only stopping in America? No, I heard this is all over in Europe. In fact, just last week, didn't they, put an African soccer player in the bench for refusing to wear the rainbow color? Someone sent that to me. I saw that. So good for him. He stood his ground. So now, like you have that group who have put themselves in the moral high ground. Now they have to put you in the defensive mode. In the defensive mode. That's why my title is what it is today. Go look up the meaning of it. Because people, the children are the casualties. The mass shootings that you're looking at, I don't know what it is about somehow during Obama's time when these, mass shooters, they are angry, they somehow went and shot up the school. That's what was happening. And somehow, again, I mentioned the counselors. Let me tell you, all those people work for the government, okay? Those are all FBI types. I have dealt with them. They do not have your child's best interest at heart. You see? Imagine somebody telling your son that he's a lesbian. Does that individual love your son? Or like the doctor, like the Pakistani guy I told you, this is real life. He went to go pick up his son. They said, no, now your son is a lesbian. So he signed papers. He had to pretend to be a part of, the mental gymnastics. So when he took his son out of there, he ran and left the state. But pretty soon, that's going to hit the whole country. I know some people are going to feel like, oh, what is this guy talking about? Because most people don't think these things will ever happen to them. They don't think this will ever come close to them. So you see those shootings. So again, during Obama's time, out of nowhere, right? They said some white guy with a weird haircut went to a black church and shoot the people there. In real life, for some reason, look, it is hard to find young people who are into the Hitler stuff. And Hitler, these guys are shooting white babies, right? You guys know Hitler is about the Aryan thing. But somehow, they have the shooter in Buffalo had a manifesto. His manifesto is similar to the shooter in New Zealand for some reason. You go look at this young man's background. He is not that bright according to what they've presented, according to what has been presented. But you go read the tweets that they are sending. Like I watched the different tweets. I look at the patterns. I said, oh, hold on. What is going on? Why is these tweets? Why are they similar? They would highlight. See, when they're talking to black people, look, next time something happens, if blacks are involved, just pay attention to how they present it and the words they use. Because they are trying to wake up that racism thing to say, there is the boogeyman, there's people against you as a group, right? Last time it was race. So now when you look at, like today, Obama's tweet, not the today one, but the recent one about the Texas shooting, he highlighted the fact that he is angry because he knows there's a lot of people that are angry right then and there because you are holding Obama at a high regard. Then you would identify with him and say, you justify that, oh, because Obama is angry, it is okay for you to be angry too. Right? So they highlight that. Oh, with black people, they would pretend and identify as, same skin color. Same skin color, And then with the children, they know majority of people have kids, and they use that emotion. You don't have to believe what I'm saying. I'm not trying to convince you of anything. Just go follow the pattern. It is almost, it's just like, okay, when they overthrow these countries, have you noticed it's the same group of people again? The same group of people overthrew the government of Libya, Muammar Gaddafi. The same group of people removed Saddam Hussein, not Obama directly, but the same group of people. And when they changed the government, right? The people who are opposed to the puppet government there, what did they label them as? They called them terrorists. Remember? Domestic terrorists. Imagine you going to someone's country, shooting up in their streets, and then the people that are like, look, you can't just come up here and do this. Those people are called the terrorists. So now they were talking about how the war is eventually gonna come to America. People think wars are only fought, physically. No. Information warfare. The people are fighting for the minds and hearts of the people. You look at those January 6 people, right? And they're trying to pass law to call them what? Terrorists? Think about that. Just look at the pattern. So that's why I asked the question. Is America infiltrated from within? Because they've been talking about this for many, many years. They've been talking about it for many years. So, like you look at even the Ukraine versus Russia. Doesn't it look like, it almost look like it's America's war? They are giving so much money to, to the Ukrainians. I mean, I would say one individual. But all of you, some people have supported it. I've even seen, ordinary people, they started flying the Ukrainian flag. They cannot even find Ukraine on the map. The other day I was walking by, I saw, some black woman with purple hair, and she's got the Ukrainian flag. That's when I was like, okay, I've had it. This is it. This is it. The people have been too brainwashed. I want to hear you guys' comment. Do you guys think I'm reading too much into this? Oh, are you saying, you support all these things I have described here? Or you believe that it is guns that are these people are genuine people. They are trying to promote what is best. Because at this point, this is not only about America. I hope people know this. I hope people know this, because America is the last fortress standing. I hope you guys know this. Because once they take that over, it's a done deal. Let's see. Christopher said, the problem in the West is you can no longer speak out or have an opinion. This cancel culture is so dangerous. If they tell you to support something and you're against it, you are done. You're absolutely right. A lot of people today, they don't have the backbone to speak the truth. This is why, people have to, Christopher, you're absolutely right. You have to think for yourself. I'm looking at videos of people literally, look, they're treating us like idiots. These people are pretending to cry in front of the TV to try to get you to be emotional. as if they have, because people talk about empathy, whatever. Okay, fine. You just, maybe if you have someone close to you, if they passed away, yeah, you can feel maybe the sadness, but you don't know what it feels like to die. That's for sure. All of us that are alive, we don't know it. So that's why there is a point to pump our brakes, and use your common sense and see what is happening. Because if you don't think for yourself, both you and your children are doomed. I mean, literally, you have a president where his people are run over. Christmas parade. He didn't fly over there, but he's going to other places. Maybe those fit their agenda. Because the same way, think about it, in the 60s and before the 60s, the same way the government used its tool and power to subjugate Black people, it's doing the same thing with white people and everyone else. But other people, they're just making you feel good about yourself. But technically, if you don't wake up and see what is happening, they are using your own hand to destroy yourself. Sonia said, Brother Afridamus, when does self-accountability kick in? Self-accountability should kick in every single time. Every single time. That's the point of the show here. There is no longer, people don't like self-accountability. This is why people move, so many of these people, they move from group to group. They identify with every new thing in town. Back in the days, it used to be, teenagers where this is natural, it's normal, where people go through different changes in their lives, especially teenagers, but you grow out of it. But now, these years seem to extend. You would see people who are already over 60. That's when they all of a sudden say their teenage years are kicking in. You guys have seen Bruce Jenner, right? You guys know Bruce Jenner? The man was like 60, and then he said now he wants to be Caitlyn Jenner. He turned into, he said now he's a woman, and it's acceptable. So many of the people this is why it's hard to know who is telling the truth. Because you see, the truth is hard, and the truth shall set you free. See, when people start saying political correctness, it means they're telling you to lie for them. That is the honest truth. So now I saw this picture, Bruce Jenner, right? Someone sent it to me. He's in the picture with a guy. They said he's Nigerian. Apparently, that's the boyfriend. I don't know if the person was trolling Nigerians, but I will do the investigation and a completely separate show about that. But you look at things like that. I saw people who used to present themselves as people that spoke the truth. They said they speak the truth, right? And then I see them promote this type of thing as, no, this is real. I'm not saying, you have to be rude. Like, I'm not going to walk up to somebody and say, you know what, hey, no, you're just pretending to be a woman, but you're not. I'm not going to do that, right? But I'm also not going to tell myself that, no, this is a woman. Or I'm not going to let that person come and put that in my child's head. Many people that are normal will never allow this. So why do people have so much trust in politicians then? Like, people like Obama, seeing the flip-flopping. Let me show you an example of when Biden was coherent, right? Because I've seen people make debates, Americans, where they don't want to see the truth at all. They are completely blind to it. I mean, people, some of the things that the people accept here, you're not allowed to speak against it. And many people just go along, right? And some people, it's not just they really just going along or just ignoring what's going on. They are really in it. They are in it. They believe in it. And you have to start asking, where is this coming from? Now, if you look at it, the LGBTQ, back in the days, they said there isn't that many. But today, it seems like they're producing the kids out of a machine who is doing that. So you have to think for yourself and see that things are not right. Look at Joe Biden before, right? Where his position was when he was more coherent. Here we go.
I accept my church's position on abortion as what we call de fide doctrine. Life begins at conception. That's the church's judgment. I accept it in my personal life. But I refuse to impose it on equally devout Christians and Muslims and Jews. And I just refuse to impose that on others, unlike my friend here, the congressman. I do not believe that that we have a right to tell other people that women, they can't control their body. It's a decision between them and their doctor. In my view, in the Supreme Court, I'm not going to interfere with that.
So that's Biden when he was coherent, right? He said he accept what the church say. Back then, that's what he was saying. Now, the church, they don't care about what the church say. They just shut the church down. Last time I checked, the Pope apparently was supporting their move. So that's why I'm asking people, are you seeing what I'm seeing? Are you seeing, what I'm seeing? Let me see. Christopher said here, he said, Justice Smollett had 2 Nigerian bussy poppers. Oh, yeah, yes. Justice Smollett, the huckster. You're right. That would be a very interesting topic. I want to see how many people who, let's say, they have strict culture, right? They believe their moral standards are against all these things that these politicians push your way. Because at some point, you have to look at yourself as an individual. What are you being fed? It's not about Democrat or Republican. Even on the Republican side as well. I remember I took a government class before. And again, like I said, I'm not into the political correctness. I'm just analyzing and looking at things exactly for what they are. Because if you're telling me things that do not make sense, it doesn't matter who it is. It still doesn't make sense. You see? But politicians, for some reason, it seems like they play mental gymnastics with people, and many people fall for it. When you talk to people directly, most people, you have this conversation one-on-one, and you lay it out. Without the sound bites, they're like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's crazy. I'm against that. But are you? You're like, wait, that person is against it? Yes, the person is not against it. They support these things. They support all of these things. And people, you're not even realizing that, the same things you complain about, you contribute to it by giving those people the power. The kiosk said, hopefully all this nonsense will come to pass soon. Well, the only way it will come to pass, the cure, is if people really start waking up and taking responsibility and not allowing other people to tell them how to think, how they should run their own family, who they should support, who they should like, who they should not like. Maybe at that point, people, things will change. And also make sure they bring God back into the schools and into the homes. Maybe that will help. Because in some places, some countries, it seems like that's the thing that ties people together. Because I don't know of any religion that supports all these things. In fact, they would call it abomination. Most people that even vote for these things, if you look at your background and people explain it, you're completely against it. Most people, if you ask them, oh, would you want do you support transgender? They would say yes, yes, just to be politically correct, right? And then you're like, would you want your son to be a lesbian? And they would be like, no, they would totally be against it. So that means the people are not speaking the truth. There is so much emotion and anger. You can speak the truth without hating someone. In fact, telling someone the truth is the highest form of love, showing love, the highest form. Because a lot of these kids today, what they are promoting, Obama, I've seen Obama promoting. You guys know Dwayne Wade's son? It's a woman now, right? They said now it's a girl. So back in the days, think about it. A leader, right? A leader is supposed to serve the country and be the moral standard. Seriously. A leader, but what if the leader is taking you astray? Have you thought about that? Let me see what Amira Mohammed said. Sorry, I'll read some of this comment. Amira said, Afridamas, we need to understand that USA is pushing LGBT agenda and critical race theory to use it as a tool for their purpose. Amira, you are absolutely 100% correct. I'm glad you see that. And I hope a lot of people are seeing this. Most of you that are not saying anything or trying to educate yourself and stand your ground, wait till you're sitting there. They send your child home with their homework paper, talking explicitly about sex, and the teacher is suggesting to your child to be something that they are not. This is why I said the whole thing is confusing. I noticed it from Obama's term, where, yes, the guy speaks well, he wears nice suits, but I look past all that. I want to hear what is being said. And it's the same thing. The same thing. It's an agenda that is being pushed. I remember the 13th grade I went to, some of you will call it college. On one area, I remember, they put the rainbow color, the flag, literally the flag replaced the American flag. That's what I've always been asking the question. I said, okay, wait a minute. When you conquer a country, right? Don't you put up your flag and to show that you've conquered? I mean, we saw that during Obama's time, where the White House was lit in rainbow color. You guys remember that? And then that changed when Trump came. But now, again, when quote unquote Biden and his people came in, the transgender, now they have different flags now, the rainbow and the transgender flag on its own. I mean, I'm just saying. So this is why they put you in the defensive mode. They shame you. They make you feel emotional so that, you don't see these things for what they really are. Because you're so consumed with somebody, hurt my feelings. Because you know what? They are telling the truth, but I don't like the way they are telling it. Makes no difference. He said, Amira, these people are taking the capacity of people to think. I don't understand that. Christopher said, look how powerful the media is a few years ago. Anybody knew about the Ukrainian flag? Now everyone knows how it looks, just like the LGBT. Exactly. Exactly. So that's my whole point. Like you're being pushed to think a certain way. I don't know if you're seeing it. They're using emotions to try to take Americans' Second Amendment right, the guns. You know how they did in Australia? You have to dig deep and study what is happening. You have to look at all that. See, to them, Africa, and during Obama's time also, another thing that I almost forgot. During Obama's time, again, there were many things that are very similar. The Russia-Ukraine thing, you guys remember Crimea? That happened. And Ebola happened. So usually, they bring the war to other places. This time around, they didn't have wars to do. So, for Africa, they say Ebola. At one point, they said the Ebola was in East Africa. But during Obama's time, it hit, Sierra Leone, Liberia, and Guinea. They brought the naval ship in. It was kind of weird. Those three countries, you know what they have in common? They have lots of minerals. Sierra Leone has lots of diamonds and other minerals. Guinea has bauxite. I mean, Liberia, they have the rubber plantation. So somehow those three countries got hit with the Ebola during Obama, and then they brought the naval ship. But now, right, again, the same tactic is being used. Have you guys heard of the monkeypox? The monkeypox. So Bill Gates, right, couple months back, he was accused of, he was talking about smallpox. So somehow these people out of the blue, they seem to know what is coming. So this monkeypox, now they said monkeypox, they said it's from Africa. People, let me explain something to you here. They said the monkeypox is from West Africa, but they discovered it. The people that have the monkeypox, you know where they discovered it? In Spain and in Belgium at a gay festival in Spain. So how did these people contract this monkeypox? So in the world, it's only about, I think they said, between Spain and Belgium. I mean, if you look at it, because they control that area. So Belgium wants to go on a lockdown. So now they because they've tried the other one, you guys know, the one from China, to try to pin it on Africa, because later they try to say the later one is from South Africa. So it didn't stick. So they're like, last time Ebola worked. How about we go the monkeypox route? So out of nowhere, I read in a newspaper. Yes, I do still read newspaper. There's a teacher, apparently, who got fired because they said that teacher, took picture of Obama and a monkey and put them side by side for the child. I said, wait a minute. So out of the blue, right? You guys say monkeypox came, they found this monkeypox at a gay festival in Spain. But now they're trying to say, the monkeypox is from West Africa. But somehow it's in Europe. Go figure, right? So, okay, sorry, give me a sec. Let me get some water here. So now they're saying that just out of the blue, now that they want to promote monkeypox, out of the blue, this teacher coincidentally is comparing Obama to a monkey. Let's be real, people. When you see Obama, are you thinking monkey? So Obama is not even the president. Why are they trying to push that agenda? You see? So, but the teacher doesn't have a name. Isn't that weird? So I've been thinking about all these things. They are not making sense. I wonder if you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. I know sometimes people are busy. It's enjoyable to talk smack to one another. The blacks talking smack to Africans and Africans talking smack to the blacks. Mostly that's how it usually goes. But this right here, because if you look at it, gas prices doesn't care about your race. Inflation doesn't care about your race. Just less than 2 years ago, America was literally gas independent. And then now they are not. So ask yourself, how is that possible? How is a huge country like America, just getting driven to the ground? Do you think it's done on purpose? Because I know people like to jump to always saying people are incompetent. Are people pretending to be incompetent? That's what you should be asking. Because one can pretend to be incompetent to achieve their goal. You guys remember the lady they just selected for the Supreme Court, the black lady, Ketanji Jackson, who, by the way, Ketanji's husband is white. Somehow the blacks didn't talk about that part. But last week I saw all of them losing it because, LeBron James, the basketball player who's almost a billionaire, his son went to a prom with a beautiful white woman. And all the evil haters, mostly, it was black women, they are upset. They said, mind you, he should have gone out with one of them. You see? So, but this Ketanji, I don't want to get off the rail here. the judge, they asked Kitanji, what is a woman? People, this is very important. This is a Supreme Court judge. They ask her, what is a woman? And she refused to answer the question. She played dumb. We all know she knows what a woman is. This woman is supposed to be a Supreme Court judge. Like, what is going on? Imagine the people who are supposed to be, people used to admire these positions, respectable, supposed to be intelligent. Like, what do you make of that? A Supreme Court judge getting approved doesn't know the difference between a man and a woman. I mean, she obviously knows. She has a white husband. She knows the difference. But there's a reason why she is willing to roll that way right in front of everyone, because some weird laws are going to come into place. She will be needed to pass them. So now, if she passes those laws, you cannot pretend as if, oh, I can't believe she did that. Hey, remember, she didn't know what a woman was. You didn't make a big deal about it. So she doesn't know what a woman is. So you ask yourself, how do you just go along with this? What do you base it off of? Because I've seen some black preachers saying she's God sent. You mean Satan sent? Because if you don't know what is a woman, you won't know. Let's see here. Rasmois. Greetings, Afridamos, Supergirl, and members of the chat. I missed a couple live stream. I had to flew back to New York and arrange my mother's funeral and burial. God bless to you. Oh man, may your mom rest in peace. Rasmois, my condolences to you. But welcome back. The Kio said she didn't want to upset the far left. But you see, that is a problem. That's where the problem lies, because this woman's job is supposed to be rendering, quote unquote, the truth. So that means she doesn't have the fortitude to deliver the truth, because she doesn't want to upset the far left, quote unquote, the far left. The far left people, they want to promote ideas that go against your very natural being. Your very natural being. It is not, for many, I keep repeating this, it is not just okay for them to want to be something else. They want you to recognize it as well. And the president, the vice president, the cabinet, the schools, because it starts from the top. Whatever they promote, that's what's going to be the order of the day. If you promote this type of confusion, you will get this type of results. I hope you've learned what I've learned here today, ladies and gentlemen. Usually, I would open the lines, but here, actually, you know what? I'll give 30 minutes. I'll open the line here. I'll open the lines. People call, hit the link. I have the link in the chat there. If you want to contribute and touch on some things that you think I should have even talk about, you can call in and give us your 2 cents. But other than that, because you see, for many Africans, right, especially, I think their wake-up call to Obama, especially with the leaders, is when he went to Kenya. When he went to Kenya, you see, that's when what what he was trying to promote, Africans are like, we don't know about that. We don't know about that. Okay. KBM, welcome to the show. And hold on. Famajo, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
No, hold on. Famajo, can you hear me? Famajo, you want to show me your hand? Okay, go ahead, KBM.
Yeah, since you brought that up at the last moment, Obama going to Kenya, he also did what he did in Kenya. He also tried to do in Senegal. So a lot of people don't know that. Basically, for those who don't know why, or excuse me, why he was shut down in Kenya, the thing he was shut down for is he tried to promote LGBT. Now, what was interesting about that is that the Kenyan one, the Kenyans didn't want him there. There was a group of Catholics and stuff like that protesting. There was about 25 of them, and people were saying, "Oh, they only got 25." Well, no, the whole country basically didn't want him there for that. But then a lot of people did want him there for the simple fact his father had ties to being Kenyan. So it just makes sense that they would want him there. But one thing I did notice when they're at the State House is that he did not bring it up not once. However, one of the reporters in the audience asked him about, the LGBT thing, and that was like his golden opportunity to try to influence the Kenyans. And then right after that, when it was Uhuru Kenyatta's turn, he shut him down. Then come to find out later, because I can't remember if he actually went to Kenya first or Senegal first, he tried to do the exact same thing in Senegal, and he got shut down.
So, KBM.
Do you hear me, brother? Do you hear me?
Is that Famajo?
Yes, Famajo.
Famajo.
Yes.
Famajo, just 1 second, okay? KBM. So, what's your take on my breakdown about what I'm observing during, from Obama's time, the sequence of the shootings, how similar it is to what we're seeing today as well?
Well, the thing is, it's funny that it's too similar because, a lot of people suspected that the 9 people who were killed in the church shooting was suspected, Obama ties, but nobody could prove it or anything like that. But it's kind of funny, like when Trump was in office, what was the only violence that was seriously taking place in America? What was being pointed out during his 4 years was Chicago. That didn't stop. And the other thing too was just all the protesting in his last year of office and all the violence in Portland and other cities with BLM and especially Antifa. Those were the signals of violence, which he had no ties to. Now that he's out of office, we're getting all these weird mass shootings again. Not like they didn't happen and some weren't publicized, but these are kind of like weird instances. And why is it that it's always somebody who's got some seriously deranged motive, or they're associated with LGBT? Now in 2008,
and it's also it always happens, and when they already have a bill ready to challenge the Second Amendment.
Right. Yeah, that's something that you can't ignore. That definitely comes into play. You can't ignore it.
Absolutely. We have Famajo supporter. What do you want to add there, Famajo?
Yes. President Famajo was the best. But moving on from that. He was heroic. But anyways, moving on from that. I think it is Black women's fault too. Let's just be honest with ourselves. They let the government into the affairs of their households. I think women, not only Black women, but women in general, are at fault for this. All this nonsense.
But how is it the women's fault?
I'll tell you why it's their fault. because it's them accepting it, you know. It's the mothers who accept it. The fathers are like, heck no, no way, this is not gonna happen, you know. They're more lenient, the mothers, and honestly, it saddens me. A mother
But
should
why?
never be lenient.
But why were the men too weak to stand up
A lot
against
of
that?
a lot of black men, and from what I see, African American men are no better than the women they're with. So it's like a woman leading another woman. To me, a black American man is a woman. I mean, no offense to anybody, but they're weak in their masculinity, and that's all I have to say. But
So what do you want to say about the the mass shooting? Because you're touching on something. Because again, it's not only black men in America. They're trying to weaken every man in America. Are you are you seeing that?
Can you repeat that again, please?
I said it's not only black American men. Maybe they started with them, but they are trying to weaken the whole,
Yeah,
every man in America.
it's a worldwide agenda. It's not
Yeah,
even America in itself.
yeah,
Europe is suffering. China is the only one that's not suffering. Russia, these places, Africa too. Some
yeah.
parts are great. But the thing is, Obama, he was a horrible example for African people. He was a puppet instead of being a true leader, you know. He was told to do this. He went back to his own home country of Kenya and told them be more gay friendly. What does that say about Obama with his character? It saddens me. We should not be standing for this. And when he got and he got elected, my parents voted for him.
Hmm.
And they voted for him because they thought he was going to be, you know, like good to Muslim people. He was never. After that, they didn't vote for him the second time, but the first time, yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you for my your supporter.
Yes, thank you.
Amira Mohammed. Amira Mohammed, are you there? Amira Mohammed, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Is Amir? Can you hear me?
Yes, it's me. Yes.
All right. Where are you calling from?
Me, I am some of outsider of sorts. I am right now. I'm in France, but I'm originally from Djibouti. It's
Djibouti.
near
Okay.
Somalia.
Oh yes, I know Djibouti. Well, welcome to the show, Amir. What do you want to add
Me, I
to
want to
what you're
add
hearing?
that the fact that what I'm saying first from the shooting. At first, we thought it was really an how can I say an white supremacist young man, and that America have a huge problem with gun laws and all of that. And the more you reflect on yourself, the more you see all these events, and I, it's not really guns, but I will say it's mentally. The society is not really stable.
Right.
It's everyone fighting everyone. The first problem that America as a country should solve is the division between people, first of all,
Mm-hmm.
because I see that politicians are taking profit and pushing this racist ideology, critical theory, uh, critical theories, and and LGBT and ideology at the same time. And you can see the family structure, who is the bone of every society, is being destroyed.
Wow.
From what I see.
You're absolutely right. So what is it like in France? Are they promoting this
In
racial
French,
division there too?
in French, it's more a country where the state in America, and you have people have in some way have more freedom, but in French, the state, even if some liberty are protected by the constitution, the power of the government is more stronger, I think. And from LGBT ideology is pushed, but you can see in France nowadays the far right are really growing because they
So
see their society becoming destroyed more for them.
so how is the so as far as, let's say, I'm guessing your parents are from Djibouti, right?
Yes.
So a lot of other Africans or Muslims are the parents. How do they respond to this critical race theory and all this new way of life? Like, how do they respond to it?
Really, for me, the black movement and the black movement and George Floyd murder first was really shocking. And you thought and all that it was because of white supremacy and white people generally are racist to black. That's what you think. But when you
Mhm.
take for yourself,
Right.
I, I grew up in Djibouti most of my time. Now I just came to France to study.
Mhm.
And even if a Djibouti majority of the population is autochtone, we have foreigners, some number of foreigners. I grew up. I've used it to go to school with these foreigners, these white people. Even
Mhm.
some of my professor was white,
In
French
Djibouti.
in Djibouti
Okay.
because there are schools, French, huge French high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used it to go there, and no one was really racist. No one have done really wrong things against us. With the white people, some are bad, some are good. It's like everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, their French influence on our countries, and economically we are not that strong, and of course that kind of thing exists, but not not on that level. So when I came here, at first you go to that, you think maybe French society is racist.
Is
Yes, racism exists, but not to that extent. You need to be really objective in things and not take your passion and your emotion take over everything for
Amira,
me.
you're absolutely correct, because you see, um, like I highlighted Obama's tweet that he put out about this shooting, and he mentioned George Floyd because he's trying to get people to be more
Yes,
emotional, to
because
get people
black
riled up.
people and American African American have traumatized because of what their parents and the generation before have experienced it. So this psychology in it, I think like they're using the past
Mm-hmm.
has tool to uh, to use it as a tool to push publics on their side whenever they want to use it,
Yes,
whenever
it's
it
it.
please them.
I know
It's
exactly. You're
they use
absolutely
it
right.
psychology, emotions, everything.
Yeah, just like they are doing with the children. So it's like,
Yes, they I study law. As someone who has studied law, I'm for the right of people, but at the same time, you need a strong society. You need a society where children can develop as children, and adults have to have adult standards, and you there are things you can change as a society. There must be some standard. I understand that people want to be more free, and and uh, and people should not be oppressed because of things they want to be. But at the same time,
you know, sorry, are you
you
there?
you live in a society which have some rules. Destroy
Yeah.
the
So
society. Yes,
you being
yes.
sorry, sorry,
If you
you being a lawyer, right?
Yeah,
That's
I study
interesting.
law.
That's
I
good.
study law.
You studied law. Sorry, you studied law. So you've heard me present, about how Biden and Kamala both, and even Obama, just few weeks back, they were promoting the idea of abortion for people to have the right to kill their baby.
Yes, yes,
But
yes.
today they are saying they are saddened by these children dying in the schools. Would you believe? What do you make of somebody who says, you know, things like this? Like 1 minute for the children dying, another minute, you are sad about them.
For someone who grew up in, even Djibouti is have a constitution who are like other African countries have a lot of influence of the foreigner the former colonial power. We
Mhm.
have a constitution that really heavily inspired by French constitution.
Mhm.
So an aversion um, is I don't know. I need to verify that. But I don't I think it's a little same like French, but
Mhm.
I need to verify that. But has a conservative society who is heavily Muslim, for us abortion for me is a no. I will be frank with you.
Yeah.
Even in extreme case like rape, it's really difficult. It depends of the person, really. Or if the mother is on the verge of dying,
Mhm.
maybe for medical reason. But apart from that, I don't see a reason to kill a baby,
So
really.
because you've seen Kamala Harris, right? You know Kamala Harris.
Yeah, I don't watch a lot, but I see who she is.
Did you see the video that I played?
And in the beginning,
Yeah.
and I was not there in
Oh,
the
okay.
big.
Maybe later you can. So if you look at it, like for instance, you've explained your position,
Yes.
and there are many people who would say they this is how they think, that's how they feel. But then again, when it comes to voting, like people, they vote for Obama, including myself. I have voted for
Yes,
Obama before.
even we in Africa, I was in Djibouti when he was elected, and everybody in my family, black people general around the world was quite happy because
Yeah.
they think that by Obama being elected president, the American society will change and black people will not suffer. That's what we thought and in the first place. But even me, when he ended his second mandate, I
Mhm.
was really sour because of what happened in Libya, because of his foreign policy on Africa,
Mhm.
and I understand that he called out our leader for staying too long in
But
power.
don't you think that was fake also? Because again, that's why I gave you the two personalities that they present.
Yes,
Because the 1 minute they are saying they are supporting, abortion to be able to kill babies in the womb.
yes,
But then in the next other instant, you would see these same people pretending that they are the ones that cared more about and more sad about some school children, you know,
uh,
dying. Because in real life, right, if you know
mhm,
somebody,
mhm,
common sense,
mhm.
who is, let's promoting saying, oh yeah, they're all about abortion, right? And then you see them pretending to be sad about some school children getting killed. You're not gonna believe them, right? You're gonna say, wait a
They,
minute.
they can be sad, but on the moment they're not deeply sad. They're not deeply and thinking about the consequence of their laws and their politics. They are not in that deep when they say they are sad. For me, it's just in the moment, like, but they are not going to rethink of what they have done and what they want their politic when they are pushing. They not in that much. They are not that deep for me. What I can see from their sadness.
Well,
Eh,
to me, think about it. If somebody comes to, you know,
it's
let's say,
hypocritical for me. Maybe it's not even really sadness. It's just a posture because everybody
Mhm.
is sad. So you're saying I'm sad so that
You
people
use it.
yes, they're using everything. You can nowadays you can even trust the television or the media, because they're pushing. You can see the way the journalists are asking question, and everything, the way everything is made. You came to question really a lot of things, you see,
Yeah.
on the
So
newspaper, in the media, politician. Is crazy.
so in France, also, if a man wants to be a lesbian and they're allowed to.
Yes, in French they allow to. In French, the government, and I will say, first of all, in 2013, it was when the law has passed for the gay marriage for French,
Yeah.
because French, being an homosexual was not against the law. It was because in French have really have that kind of policy where they're not against that, but transgender and all the fact that you change your sex is not also against the law. But in French, the
Yeah.
problem they have in French is in the when you go to the administration in French, you accept the law accept only two sex, male or female.
Okay.
So now you see, little by little, the LGBT community pushing for the revision of the law to take away the two gender, en tout cas to open it to more gender than the two,
Hold
male
on
or
here.
female.
Famajo has a question for you. Go ahead, Famajo.
Yes. So the Afars were famous for colluding with the French. What do you feel about that? That an African people are colluding and are in cahoots with, the French. And you seem like you worship white folks because you're saying, yes, I saw a lot of white people. Why are you happy that white people are in Djibouti? In Somalia, we don't care about white people.
It's not me about being happy. It's a fact that they're here.
Now, Alatullah.
What is that?
Okay, you don't need to insult me. It's not that I'm happy. It's a fact they're here. The government in Djibouti is more stronger than Somalia. People in Djibouti
Stronger.
cannot take their
You guys
own
don't
hand.
even. You guys are a military base.
Hold
Everywhere
on,
you go, you have.
Famajo, don't
Oh
hold.
my
Wait.
God.
Famajo, don't change the topic. This is
The society in Djibouti is totally different than Somalia. I'm not for Afar, but they are here. What do you want me? But I'm not even in politics in Djibouti.
Right.
It's so much. It's complicated. I
Famajo,
don't want to
I
talk
did.
about here.
Yeah, that's the. Let's not change the topic. It's about trying to be upsetting, but no, we're not gonna allow that. So, all right, Andre, what do you have to add to the topic? Andre, go ahead. Let's see. Andre, are you there? KBM, go ahead.
Yeah, I also wanted to bring up, because I don't know how many people knew this. It was kind of swept under the rug when it did happen. Is a gentleman, well, I can't call him a gentleman, but Nassim was the YouTube headquarters shooter back in 2018. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up, Trump was president at the time, but you also know that YouTube and many other media companies out there are extremely liberal. And so basically the shooter had a YouTube channel, drove up from San Diego, California, I believe, the whole night to actually come the next day to shoot up with the 9mm, the headquarters. Now, there's some people that were shot, nobody killed, but what had happened, and the reason for it, she was angry at YouTube for demonetizing a lot of her videos. But here's the thing about the she is actually a he. It was a trans woman.
Oh,
Now,
that shooter, the Iranian.
yes.
Okay.
So as a trans
That's new.
woman,
That's new information. I didn't know that.
well, see, the thing is, it leaked out, but media everywhere tried to hide it, like seriously quick. So there's some pretty savvy people out there that got the photos, got the information, got a small report from her father that, talking about his son, not his daughter, right? So, but even till this day, and I'm looking on Wikipedia right now, they're still referring to the shooter, this man, as a her, as a she, as a woman. Not even the fact, even denying the fact that this is a trans woman.
Wow.
So
So
this,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. When it comes to the truth, people gotta think for themselves. Let's hear, Andre. What do you want to add to the show?
Yeah, I just want to say like a strong democracy and liberal democracy is not gonna judge like minorities. Like it can be their sexuality. It's not gonna judge. Like we gotta
Wait,
understand like
wait,
liberal.
Andre. Where you calling from?
I'm calling from Gothenburg, Sweden.
Sweden. So, okay, when you say democracy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you, okay, what is your idea of a democracy?
Democracy is no, I can't like I'm just want to say like democracy, like strong democracy and a liberal democracy can judge minorities. It doesn't matter. Like you see these countries like China, like they work different. Russia, like people get pressed. Like strong
Yeah.
democracy and a liberal democracy, they don't do that. They support instead of a judging. They support. We
So,
have to understand that system.
wait, wait. So, you think, or you saying that they they are supporting a minority, right?
Yes, yes.
So okay, nothing wrong with that. But what if the minorities' agenda, what they are into, is being imposed and pushed on the majority? What do you say to that?
It's already happened. Like, guys, you guys thinking like people are pushing like the power. Who has power? Like the rules are like already set up. You
In
know what I mean? Like
reverse.
you
So
can't be.
so do you think, okay, Andre, this is interesting. I like where you're going with this. Okay, so Andre, so you're saying that, okay, because my question is the US infiltrated? So are you saying the infiltration has already happened?
It's not that, but their belief are following them too. Like they go together. You know, liberal democracy goes together with the not like judging people and instead of
No, but again, but they are judging people though. The,
who you gotta.
okay, for instance, right? They are making it a law where, for instance, they are pushing, like, let's say if I say I'm a lesbian, I'm a woman, right? It's fine if I want to be that. But truly, common sense, those of you that are looking at me, you guys know I'm not a lesbian. I'm a man. If I say call me a lesbian, you guys would think I've lost my mind.
No,
But here,
not really. Not in the West. Not in the West.
no, but again, you that is not democracy where you are forcing other people to think crazy like you. In democracy, which the United States is not a democracy, it is a republic. So most
No,
people,
United States is a liberal country. Like they they against like pressing people like minorities. You can't do that. Like
no, I get,
it's
no, Andre, I think you're mistaking, you know, what the
yeah, yeah. I
topic is.
know where you're going with this. Like
Mhm.
I think I know like you're going with this freedom of speech. You have that, but people are gonna be against your freedom of speech if it goes against their belief. That happens a lot.
Right,
In
but again, nowadays, right? The minority you're talking about, the minority is the one stifling the majority's freedom of speech.
actually, let me tell you something. The defense of the alphabet community is like they make defense for other minorities. They can be from different places. When they had that defense in the West, they support it. You know, like you can't judge those people too because it's the same thing. You know what I mean? When they
Good
set
question.
up the system.
Okay. Mo, thank you for calling in. Mo, what do you want to say?
Alfredamus, before I start off, thank you for having me on this channel once again.
Oh, no
I
problem.
gotta say something, right? This Andre guy is not Somali. I called him out on many other panels. He likes to pretend to be Somali. He's fake. He can't name his sub-tribe. He can't name the area of Mogadishu that he was born in. He's not Somali. Please don't believe he's Somali. I mean, him and his feminine accent doesn't sound Somali enough. He doesn't know anything about the Somalis. He pretends and goes around on other panels and says he's a westernized Somali. Can you imagine that for Damas? I had a good laugh. He said he's a westernized Somali. So please don't believe anything that this clown says. He's not Somali. He's probably some Oromo.
Wait, hold on, guys. Don't call each other names. So Mo, what do you want to add to the topic here?
All right, so I just gotta point out, like, this Andre guy is probably Oromo and he's pretending to be Somali.
That's all you wanted to say?
No, I gotta also say another thing as well to Amira. It's funny how she's talking about European domination of certain groups, but she's not talking about what her people did in Djibouti. I mean, we can get into context with this.
Can I talk?
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Talk about the Afar's treachery. Go ahead.
I'm not Afar. I'm not Afar. Who tell you that?
Okay, then you're not Afar. Why are you? Somali or Afar?
Why you want to know? What's your point? Tell me what's your point.
No, sorry, Afrodama. Sorry to start this, but again, she said she's from Djibouti. I just want to know what you are.
Mo.
No,
you hold on.
Me,
wait,
Amira. This is way out of line with the topic.
Yeah, Amira.
What
1
you
second.
Want to know, even if I tell you which one of the ethnicity I am, if I'm Afar or Somali, what do you want to know after that?
Because you're giving a whole lot of hot speech on Africans getting dominated in their own country. You're giving a whole speech before I come on.
More. Hold on,
what's
more.
Your point?
More.
Please tell me.
Yeah,
what you want
the
to know.
topic,
if I
right?
I am Afar. What you're going to say?
Yeah, Amira, wait. Amira, 1 second. More. When you came, you went straight to ethnicity with Andre, and now you taking this.
Sorry,
Afrodamas. So
I have to point out.
She is on topic. She's talking about what the topic is. But you are attacking her personally.
No, my bad, Afrodamas. My bad. It's not the topic. I understand.
What do you want to add to the topic?
So, I understand, Afrodamas. You made a good point.
That I am strong in the government to decide. I'm just a normal human being who is studying.
Okay, my bad. I'm sorry, but I gotta point out. I'm still sticking with the things I said about Andre.
People.
Okay, I
am.
Okay, what I gotta say is, Afrodamas, I'm still sticking with what I said about Andre. He's not Somali.
Okay,
because I've called
you.
You're supposed to know simple stuff about people, but yeah.
Mo, what do you want to add to the topic?
Oh, to the topic. Okay. Firstly, I'm gonna make 2 points because I heard you say the last part. I just came into the last bit where you said, basically, Africans versus infiltrators. What did you specifically mean before I start? Because I heard the last bit, but I want to know into context.
Okay, Mo, you didn't hear the topic. This is not about Somali versus Djibouti.
No, I just want to know. No, I know.
Well, we've been here for 2 hours. I wouldn't have enough time to explain all, but take the time and watch it later. Okay, we're talking about America with the infiltration, but
what infiltration?
Yeah, Mo, I can't explain it. Just watch the show.
Okay, I'll mute my mic and I'll.
All right.
Yo, can I explain? It already happened. Like, NATO, that group, or Afidamas, you know that?
Yeah, I'm listening.
That group, if your country doesn't support the rainbow community, you can't join. You just can't join. It already happened, like, you see?
So that's my point. Like, okay, why are people not seeing it? Are people just pretending?
In the EU, if you're against supporting minorities, like the other European countries will not trade with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but more. Do you believe? Andre,
can I say?
Just 1 second, Andre. But when they say minority, do you think they are using other people's plight to make it seem like people are against this group of people when in fact it's not that way.
But if you set up a system for the rainbow community, it actually shields off, like it has a barrier for other minorities, people of color, any minorities. Like when you talk about the rainbow community, because like they're minority too.
Interest. Okay, Amira, go ahead. Amira.
And me, to be frank, what happened in the West, what they want to do in their own society is their problem.
Right.
Now what I'm seeing is they teach us in our schools in a lot of African countries the things about human rights and democracy and all of that things. When you see African protesting for having the same thing in their country, having to wanted to apply their own system and their own democracy, we see some of our leaders working with Westerners, and Westerners working with them to against the old population for not having a really good development in their society. And now they're using human rights against
Yes. Mm-hmm.
a lot of African who don't want that to happen in their own country. And we have seen that in Gambia, we have seen that in Kenya, we have seen that in a lot of countries, even countries who are pro-Westerners, who are who work with European. Yeah, Kenya is not against European. She work with them,
right.
But they're trying to push.
That's why.
No, they're not trying to push. Africans' democracy is like, no, we don't care about. We don't care about making a rules for gay people. It's like, let society do their own work. Let society accept them, or like let society decide what to.
It's from the home. In
That's
Africa.
what Kenya did. The Kenya leader just said that, like, that's society's job to accept them or not.
Yeah.
It's not.
They don't need government to
That's
legislate that. That's my whole point. In America, that's what they're doing here. The government dictates.
Can I make a quick point about human rights?
Go.
Okay, so quite a few years ago, Hillary Clinton made a statement on media, like bold-faced lie. She said very quickly, "Gay rights is human rights, and human rights is gay rights." That is a lie, because a human right, example of one human right is having access to drinking water, to clean water. That's a human right. To being gay is not a human right because it's a behavior. It's an individual behavior. So that cannot be put in the category of in any way as a gay right, because it's not, or excuse me, as a human right. It is not a human right. And it's always funny how Western society tries to push or integrate things that are not human rights into the continuum of the human rights spectrum, and then tries to pass it off and says you need to accept it.
Gay right. The way I think is gay right is minority right, because
but when you say minority, what do you mean by minority?
I mean,
right?
like in the Western world, like we have like different people from everywhere. You know what I mean? When that.
But what's the percentage of gays versus other people? Why are they the ones that are pushed?
Very low.
Then the thing is, these are things people who are not part of it, they don't think about it. So, because most people that even us having this topic is because it's literally pushed in your face. Like I'm not going by my daily business thinking, oh, is that person gay or not? Oh, is this person supposed to be oppressed? No.
Exactly.
And I think most people don't think that way. So when you're using buzzwords like minority, colored people, those are vague words, because even in
almost the way I mean is like, if Europe didn't have gay, like, you know what I mean, like gay right, it wouldn't like have a lot of minorities, because the people don't get pressed. You know what I mean? Like if you have gay gay right, minorities are defended by they
already have
right is it's a
It's not.
shield. I know they already have it.
They already have rights. Let's hear Puntait Princess. Go ahead, Puntait.
On?
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Puntait.
Okay, I'm on. Good evening. Good evening.
Thank you for
I
joining
just,
in.
you're welcome. I just jumped on to actually apologize of these crazy Somali guys coming in and attacking my sister over here. I'm from Somalia. Amina or Armina, what's her name again? I cannot read. Really, I don't have my glasses. I apologize for them, sis. This was really
Yes,
disturbing to
listen.
me, being on the chat and
You
hearing
don't
them
have
just
to.
jumping on her. No, no, no. This is not acceptable. You
No,
have
en
not
fait,
said anything wrong.
they
Sorry, sis.
Hold on.
they
Hold
think
on.
that because I talk the way I talk,
Guys.
that I must be afar. I know there are tension in Djibouti between our two community, between Isa and Afar, and they want to talk about that here because I say that I don't really hate French. It's know that during colonial times, Afar worked with French against the Somali. It's true. It's I don't know if it's really the truth because I didn't study that, but it's what it's know. But they
Yeah.
didn't know if I'm Afar or Somali, and they already chose who I am between the two. But
Yeah, listen, whatever happened in history, it's history. But the fact that you just came in, you just want to say your piece, and people attacking you just because I did not like it. Like, it was crazy to me. Like, you understand? And
Okay.
me as a
Guys.
Somali, I apologize. I have no problem with Afar. I have no problem with other ethnic groups in the Horn of Africa. I don't know what is wrong with these guys
Guys, we
just
will.
jumping on other people. Is disgusting. You guys have to chill down. And I'm sorry, really, that was disgusting. I
no,
didn't
it's
like
fine.
it.
It's
Okay, guys,
I can
guys,
understand
guys,
why they're
guys,
angry,
Yeah,
but
I just
fine.
want to
let's
apologize
stick.
to the
Let's stick
sister.
with the topic, please. Let's
Yeah, no, I
let's
just
stick
want to
with the
apologize
topic.
to the sister. So, sorry, for real. I just wanted to apologize. So I'm just gonna go down because I actually could not even listen to the topic. I'm sorry, Afridamos tonight,
Okay. All
but
right.
I'm gonna
It's
just go
okay.
sit down,
All
and
right.
if I feel I will come back again.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you. Amazing.
Afridama, as I said, like minorities are accountable because of the gay system. You know what I mean? Like gay rights. It's like human rights
But
for
who are the
them because,
minorities that you speak of?
like, I'm talking about like the people some comes to the country like they. I'm talking about like minorities. You know what I mean? Like I'm talking about some. Like in Europe, like Afridamos, you have a lot of
You see how much you are having a hard time
No,
explaining it.
I'm trying to say like you have a lot of minorities. Like when you have gay rights, it actually defends them because it says it's legal to oppress a minority in Europe. It's illegal. If a country did that, like
Well, it's illegal in America to oppress other people.
that's a good
So
democracy.
already,
You see,
yeah.
that's a good.
But what I'm saying here is because you're using words like minority. So I'm asking who are these minority? Because again, like I said,
Like
I
me,
like where
like
you're
me,
going
like
with it,
me.
but you are using the same buzzwords. You said okay. You said like you. What makes you a minority and where?
Because I'm a person of a color, yeah, and
Everybody has color.
no.
What color are you?
I'm black,
So
and
that makes you.
That only
I'm in
makes you a minority depending on where you live.
Where do you
yeah.
live?
I'm in a white man's land, like white man's land.
Okay, does that make you special in any way?
No.
So
That makes
so
me minority. That makes me small
Okay.
percentage of the population.
So
So
I want to ask you, Andre, because I'm trying to understand what your statement was when you said that they're defending minorities. If that is what you said, and because that is what a lot of people say, the reason they're doing that is for their own agenda, for their own group. They don't care about other minorities. As long as it fits their purpose and what they're trying to achieve for their so-called community, that is the only reason why they claim they're defending other minorities. And they're really not a minority and they're really not a community.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the rules they have set up is
So
kind
Andre,
of defending the other people too, because
Andre,
since
what
you
group do you belong to? What minority group?
Mo, listen, I'm Somali, yeah.
No, not Mo. Mo is not here.
Mo is gonna be like racist to me because that guy's crazy.
Oh,
He's a
Come,
little kid.
yeah.
I'm Somali, yeah, and
So you're Somali, right? And
yes,
and you live in Sweden, right?
Gothenburg, yes.
Gothenburg, Sweden. So in your area, they don't have many black people.
Not at all, not at all,
Okay,
really.
that's fine. That's okay. But why do you want them to recognize your presence there and make
No, no,
a
no, no. I
special
just don't
day or
wait,
give you a
wait. I just
special
don't eat.
box?
No, no, no. I just want to have a
That's how.
system. Wait, I just don't want to have a system. Some is against me, like
But
like some
wait,
doesn't want to.
were you born there?
Yes,
Okay, so your parents moved there, right?
yes.
Obviously, there is no issue
Different topic,
for people that look if your parents, if there was no issue for your parents to move there, then they don't have any problems with people that look like you. Obviously, they live there and gave birth to you. They
Mhm.
must have been safe, right? There was nothing
Yeah,
special holding people that look like you back because he would have held your parents back. They wouldn't have moved there.
yeah. But like, what I'm going with this is I'm not judged because of the system they have. You know what I mean? Like the rainbow, the rainbow right.
Wait,
It's
wait.
kind
So
of
you think it's because of the rainbow people? That's why you're not quote
yes,
unquote
because
judge.
like
Judge in what way?
because I'm not oppressed. You know what I mean? I'm not like people aren't judging me because of way I look, the way I maybe dress, or some some random shit. Yeah,
So wait, I'm confused. So you're saying the people won't judge you, right?
because
People, I mean,
the
so wait a
country is a
minute. People, if you dress like, let's say, dress a weird way, right?
hmm
That's normal for people to, like, they're gonna say, oh, this person dress, you know, you know, different. That's about it. You move on, they move on. You don't know what the person is thinking. So let's say your parents, if someone asks your parents how they got their rights to stay in Sweden, are they gonna give credit to the rainbow people?
no, 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 no. I'm just thankful because I'm not pressed. You know what I mean? Like, uh,
So, but again, they came there, they were not oppressed before you were born.
they no, no, no. I'm saying the rainbow people fought for human rights, like a minority right. That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm going with this, and I'm not pressed because of that. Because like they set it up before me. You know what I mean? I didn't have to do nothing for it.
I'm confused. I mean, is it just me? I mean,
No,
are
that's
you
how it
guys
is. Like
KBM, Amira, are you guys following what he's saying?
Not much, but what it kind of sounds like, especially at the end there, is that you admire the alphabet community and what it is that you're talking about.
yeah, like all I'm trying to say is I didn't had to fought for like I didn't need to fought for human
So
right
you- so
anything like
so you
they
take your hat off to them.
yes because they fought for
Are you-
minorities.
are you, are you sure they fought for minorities, or they did that in order to push their own agenda? Do you understand?
They do that because they want to educate. I think so.
Okay.
They already did that. They
Educate.
already have.
How old are you? How old are you?
I'm 18.
Okay.
Oh,
You don't have not even the slightest grasp of what the alphabet community is and what the real agenda is. And if you really look and study deeply in all the serial killers in America in the past, 60 years or so, almost 99% of them were part of the alphabet community. Okay, so and even in history, these people have been involved in nothing but situations where they cause chaos in one form or another, whether if it's in politics or outright violence. So right now, what you're talking about is a political situation. They didn't do it for you; they did it for them.
It's different. I come from a different place because I'm not talking about like as like I'm from United States. I know
No, no, no,
what
no, no,
you
no. It's not just about the United States. It's a worldwide problem. It's a worldwide problem that's been happening for thousands of years. Every time that they come up in some type of situation, it's been an issue where they have either caused direct violence or political violence in one form or another.
why you think it is that like why you make explain why.
Well, why would anybody who's perverted or anybody who is evil want to do something to get ahead?
I don't see that as that way. I see it as a like
Okay,
a down
again, it's
person.
because you're young and you don't have any inkling of what it is that you're talking about right now. I'm not insulting you, but that is the absolute truth.
No, I want to hear about your United States side. You know what I mean? Like what? Like I want to
Okay,
hear about your side.
okay. The United States side is no different than the Sweden side. These are the same people with the same agenda that are doing the same thing. There's a whole organization over here, which I can't recall the name at the moment, that does the exact same thing or is trying to implement the exact same thing. And I think they're based in Boston, which what you just described.
So, Andre, let me ask you this. Andre, do you think like the rainbow people that support all this stuff that you admire, do you do you think they are racist against people that look like you? Do you think there's a possibility that they have?
No, no.
So
You're. I feel like
they love all
yeah, yeah,
black people. Is that
yeah. They
what you
love.
believe?
They accept everybody.
Oh, so like, and are, are you part of the Rainbow Coalition?
No.
Oh, okay. Huh. Okay. Wow.
The
Thank you,
way
guys.
I just want to say the way they do it, like they go in the street, they they talk about it instead of like you saying it's different in America. You know what I mean?
No, Andre, he just like he explained, it's literally the same. So, um,
They already grab
because
power. Like I don't know what are you guys going for this. Like they already have power. They're very
but Andre,
powerful.
you at 18, how do you know all this? You don't have that much life experience
Yeah,
here.
but like I know why. Like as Sweden wanted to join NATO, and Sweden was like, we have questions for you. Do you support minorities? Do you go against it? Sweden agreed, yes, yes, everything, and they were welcome to it. They already grabbed power. You see in
So
TV, like.
so Andre, would you so do you I mean, since you're Somali, right? Do
Mm-hmm.
you know where does Somalia stand as far as the rainbow people, and how what's your idea on Somalia's, whether their support or lack of?
No,
What
I
do you
can't. I
make?
can't. I can't speak for them because I wasn't born there, and
Oh, but what's your understanding of?
they it's illegal. You probably get killed.
Do you plan on visiting?
Yes, yes, yes. Of course.
Okay, well, while you're there, be careful.
No, no. I'm open-minded. You know what I mean?
You're open-minded.
Yeah, I'm open-minded person. I like to see it all angles. You know what I mean? Instead of
Hmm.
judging.
Okay, well, it's not about judging. It's like, people use people's shortcoming to act like they want to help a certain group, but they really just have an agenda. So I don't know if you're just being naive or you haven't interacted much, but you're young. There is long way to go
Actually,
for you
wait.
to learn.
I live in a building. Everybody has a rainbow flag. The building I built,
Oh,
99. I'm the only
huh.
one who doesn't have it. People are very supportive.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute, Andre.
Interesting.
Wait. That's
Yeah.
interesting, Andre. So wait, you live in a building. Your parents, do they
Whole
live in
building,
this
yeah.
building? Your parents live there?
No, only me.
So you moved. So when you moved in, you knew that did you know about the flags?
No, I don't care.
No. I'm just curious.
When I got the bill, like I got it. Yeah, I got the house. Yes, like everybody. It's majority white. It's majority white people.
So, but why, if you move in a neighborhood, if you're open-minded, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's stopping you from flying the flag?
I don't know. I haven't bought yet one. I don't know.
You plan to buy
Can I
one?
ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
And me, in the end of the day, I'm not God. I'm not the one going to judge you on that kind of stuff. You can be whenever you want to be. But me, the problem I have is the fact that this community and the way things are pushed is like to say nowadays women are not women and men are not men. And they're going to teach that to school to young children. And for me, that's the disturbing part of that. Really. That what can shake a non-trust society as a whole.
Afridamos, I think that's parents' choice. Right?
Now, let me say this,
It's
Aphrodite.
not anymore on science, on biology.
Mm-hmm.
It's being now normal women nowadays are calling cis. It's really, I learned that not long ago. And what cis means, I don't understand.
It means like a cis person. I think it
So,
means
did you do you use the pronouns?
of people. Yes,
No,
yes.
like, do you have pronouns like she, like some people have, they identify as her, I mean she, her, they, or he, him, them,
or goat,
or goat.
or
Which
dog.
one? Oh yeah. Do you have?
I only see three. Like in real
No,
life, like
no. I mean,
people.
do you use it like?
Yes, yes, yes. Of the
What's
person.
your pronouns?
He, him, me.
He, him, me.
Mine is he,
Okay.
him.
Interesting. Huh.
And I
So,
learned that in Sweden they do not teach children biology like it should be teach. Is it
Yeah,
true?
you got to be 16 or 17 to learn about sex and everything.
Okay. So, Andre, at some point, they're going to try to push for a lower number because I'm 52. When I was a teenager, I saw the writing on the wall over here that they were going to push this in the school someday. And sure enough, they did. Right now, at primary school level, they are trying to teach kids that they have an option on to be the alphabet community. No child whatsoever until a certain age should be talked about, learned about anything about sexuality in any form. This is pure perversion. So what we have over here in America in some of these schools, we have 6'5" trans men reading storybooks about penguins to kids who are in primary school about that type of lifestyle. So the books are depicting as penguins live in that type of lifestyle. What do you think of that?
I think it should be only certain books. Like we have in Sweden, we have only certain books. Like we have a collection of certain books in primary school, and I when I like it's different. It's different where you are.
Oh, okay, but what I'm trying to tell you, it's not different. The only difference is that in your country where you're at right now, the age limit is higher. the agenda is the same.
Wait, the government has control of all of that, like what books kids
I
learn
understand that,
from.
but you're
And
not listening to what
now
I'm
that
saying.
in French, because the French society, even if it's really open, and there was all long ago an anti law that against discrimination against gay people and all of that stuff, it's really an in some way conservative society, and there are strong institutions in French, and education is one of that. And nowadays we can see a push from the left to in school to push this kind of stuff to be taught in school. But in French, we have l'Académie Française and the Minister of Education, who are really in some conservative who are fighting against that. But you can see that there's a great push by the left.
And I'm going to make this statement real quick, a correction for what I'm seeing in the chat. Over here and in other places, they are teaching to be that way.
Yes.
Not
I
to
know
just
I'm
not
seeing
just to be
somebody saying
tolerant.
tolerant. No.
Yeah, it's
All
to
right.
be tolerant and to be that way.
Mo, what do you want to say, Mo? Mo? Mo, what do you want to say, Mo?
Let me use this one. Yeah, it's just Afrodamus. What I've noticed about the alphabet group is they have a dark mission. They have specific goals that they want to push and specific agendas that they want to basically achieve. You can see that the narrative they're trying to push onto the youth. And as KBM explained, they've been planning this for decades. As you can see in certain situations, see, I go to university in the UK, and you have to call specific people, i.e., transgender, he, and whatever they want to be called.
Yeah.
There was a student who refused
And
to call a
the
specific.
government enforces it, right?
Yeah.
That's
And there was a
the
student,
point of it. That's what I'm saying. The government here,
and there was a
they
student
want to
who
force this on people.
there was a trans guy apparently, and the teacher, there was a student who refused to call it her, basically him. And what happened is they ended up getting excluded. Yeah, they have a dark narrative, Afrodamus. They've been planning this for not even not a couple of years. They've been planning this for decades. They know what they're doing and they know what they want to achieve. That's the reason why they want to start off young.
And they are doing that firstly in European country, and after that will come to Africa, and
they've already started.
Oh yeah, why didn't they go to African presidents and saying to them, see, their main concern is not the poverty or not the problems that are underlying in the country, but they always ask specific questions like, why are you mistreating the alphabet group? Why are you not pushing the narrative, the alphabet narrative?
Can I answer to that? Can I answer to that?
Go ahead, Andre.
It comes with a one package, and it's democracy. Democracy is against pressing people of any like they can be like it's against democracy. It's against like pressing people.
But Andre,
and can I say something? Because for me, for perspective, I don't have a long experience in life, and I'm quite young. But from what I'm seeing in Africa, is it really what we need is democracy, or is it the economic development? For me, it's more the economic development first, and
let me
lifting
answer
people
to
for
that.
poverty
Let me
first.
answer to that. You have no choice. You have no choice. Like you can't be.
But see, Andre,
Wait.
that's the problem though. The
let me
attitude of most of them
let me
say
finish
that.
my line. Let me finish my predominance. And an African country can't be communist. You can't be. You have to have power to be like. To have like. You can't be like if an African country was communist, America is going in there, exterminating those people.
Yes, I know there is
you
huge
have to have
influence
power.
by
Andre, I got a question for you. Andre, I'm serious when I ask this question. Are you part of the alphabet group or?
He's already answered that.
I'm not. Wait. I let me tell you this story. I grew up with trans man, and
Wait. Okay, Andre.
Let me explain.
Andre.
Okay,
Is this
he
trans?
said
Is this,
he said
is
he's
this
not a part of that group, but he hasn't
Wait,
bought a
wait.
flag yet. Just go ahead and let him
When,
finish.
when I was young, I always had this lady. She used to be very supportive.
it's a lady man?
Yeah.
Okay.
She used to be very like I used to go outside and play soccer, and we visit everywhere in Sweden.
And where was your mom? And like your parents?
My mom was there.
Your mom
And
was there?
yeah.
What about your
And it
dad?
opened my eyes. It
What
opened my
about your
eyes how
dad?
people. What?
Your
My
dad? Where
dad?
was? Huh?
He was there too. He was there too.
W-
And
w- And your parents are Somalis?
yes,
Okay, keep going.
I'm a person some sees everything different. Like everybody around me is like very conservative, or they see in a weird way. I don't disagree with them. You should have your own opinion about stuff, but you must to look to every angle. Like you can't be full focused on one place. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean. Absolutely don't. I know everything about them, but I don't know what you mean.
What do you think is bad about them? Like I don't know. You have
Well, let's see. They're never satisfied. They have an appetite for perversion. During my young age, going to and from home from a store or school, I've had numerous of these people in Southern California try to actually kidnap me on the street so they could do horrible perversional things to me. Okay, they've done it to many of people. Right, I've already told you about the American serial killer situation where almost all of them have been proven have been associated with that. Right, the Bible talks about them about 55 different times during different situations. The Quran also talks about it. So I don't know what it is that you think is really good about them. One thing that they tend to do is when they don't have power in some type of certain way, they play the victim. And when they play the victim, they seem to play it very well, and they play it off your emotions. And right now you sound very emotional because you're asking me a question. What is it that I find wrong with them? Are you kidding me? I even have an aunt, my mother's twin sister, who was one of them. Okay. Who also tried to, well, I didn't know at the time, but it took me to about 14 years of age, who tried to get me to associate with them in a way of acceptance, tolerance.
So Andre, but you see, Andre said he had, a man that became a lesbian. He influenced him.
That's
no.
biologically
It was a
impossible.
woman. It was a woman. Some became a man.
Oh wait, it was the other way.
What?
Yeah. It was a woman. Some became a man. Yeah.
Was this Somali? Was this person
No.
Somali?
She's white.
Okay. All right.
Sounds like you're surrounded by vampires, in that building.
Well,
The freaks come out at night.
Guys, I want to give you guys the last word. The conversation is going well. Andre, you've taught the people something here.
Yeah, I think Africa doesn't have strong democracy, and Africa is a lot of. I don't think it's coming to Africa.
Andre, what I'm seeing to get from your tone of speech, or maybe the way you structure your words. Again, you're young, so that they could be a factor that that plays into this. But it seems like you're surrounded. You're surrounded with nothing but alphabet group. You're surrounded by their organization, and it's affected you.
Are you saying he's taken?
You know what? Yes, that's assessment I'm getting, and I'm gonna be honest.
He doesn't have a flag yet.
I mean, I mean, you can only assess Afrodamas. You can only assess someone from their tone of speech, and what we're all getting here is we're smart here. We can make up our own minds. So again, Andre, what I can advise you is, if you say you're not, part of the organization, is to get away as far as you can, because again, not just the Abrahamic religions, but many other moralities go against this way of life. If you are, again, no offense to any of the alphabet group. I don't wish harm on you. It's just not my way of life. You can do you, and I'll do me.
Okay,
But
Andre, go ahead. Mo, let
yeah.
Andre speak. Thank you, Mo.
Yo,
Thank
Mo,
you.
I got a question. Have you ever got educated on like Big Bang or these stuff? Have you ever got educated on that?
Yes, I have to a certain degree.
What do you think about it?
Again, I'm a Muslim, and the Big Bang is also proven in the Quran. So I'm not gonna say it's a lie. No.
It disagrees with any religion. Like I don't know what are you talking about.
Wait a minute. Henry, can you hear me? Go ahead, Henry.
Yeah, I just came in to say this guy's gay, man. He admitted on.
Sound like an FBA. But anyway,
what is going on here?
Yeah, you see, Afrodamus, I'm open-minded. Like people is judging.
This is very, very wild.
So Andre,
you see, that's the thing. See, Andre is explaining. I like, you're not angry, you're not getting upset, you're answering questions. So that's great.
So Andre, would you be willing to, answer this question for me? Since we've been talking and everything that's been exchanged here, could you? Because it looks like Grace Jones. Is that Grace Jones in your avatar?
Not really.
No, that's the one from. Is that the lady from The Walking Dead?
No. It's just a costume.
Oh, okay. So what does it represent? A woman being in what looks to be a men's warrior costume, a late British warrior or something. What's the significance of you having that avatar?
No, it's about movie, and this woman was fighting the Nazis, and I like
the what?
Listen, I'm getting very feminine vibes from you, and I'm just being straightforward here.
Mo. So she was part of a video. She was fighting Nazis, and it was about Nazi Germany.
And she's dressed like a knight.
Yeah,
from 700 years ago.
Okay, interesting. Okay. So okay. Well, all right, Andre, give your last words.
The way I see is these people are like they putting the same like pedophiles and the alphabet community. They think it's the same, but it's not the same.
It
those
actually
people
is.
are weird, but they're not part of it. Like you guys need to look at
it actually is.
No. They
Yeah, you're well. I actually know it actually is.
Those people say weird things.
Those pedophiles try to come at me.
Hey,
the community is not about harming people. It's
okay, whatever you say.
Those people are weird and they harm kids.
Thank you, Andre. Thank you. You're welcome to call here anytime. All right, go ahead, Mo. Mo, you want to finish your fellow? You want to go after your fellow Somali brother? Mo, are you there? I guess Mo is abducted. KBM, go ahead.
All I got to say is that I'm tolerant of people when they mind their own business. But these people have proven not to mind their own business. And I've given up on the West. And one thing I could definitely say about this type of behavior, because it's a behavior, that it's 100%, I'm telling all you Africans in the diaspora as well as in Africa that are listening, this is 100% un-African. Have a good day.
Thank you, KBM. All right. Amira, go ahead.
We have already said in this panel what is not have been said, and the only thing I'm going to add is that where I am here, it's the far right is growing, and they're going to fight back against that. Even French society, when you are in elite, the elite is still quite conservative, and the educational part of French society and those who direct this are really They are strong institution, and they're going to fight against that because French language and culture, there always be two gender. You need to literally deconstruct French language system to create a a a third or fourth gender. I don't know, but
That's why they're creating it.
they're going to be a hard pushback. En tout cas, they're going to be a huge fight here.
But
You're gonna
maybe
see.
maybe in Africa, someone like Andre, he might want
But
to,
it right
open
now
people's
there is
mind in Somalia. Can you see that happening? In
in Somalia, it's unlikely that will happen because, contrary to our society in Djibouti, Somalia, the law, the people, the government has not that strong strain on people. People are in some way more free. So in Somalia, there's a danger for these people if they come, and they're not going to accept that in Somali society. That's impossible for me. The way I see it, impossible. In Djibouti, there is no law against. In Somalia, there is a law. It's Islam, there's Sharia, so you're going to be killed. And in Djibouti, the system of law is not the same. There's Sharia, but you have constitution, who is hugely inspired by French constitution. So there is not a law against homosexual, but you cannot publicly say you are one. You're going to be ostracized. That you it's going to be fight back really hard. What I'm gonna say that in the only way they can really achieve what they want to achieve in in Africa, maybe is to make people fight each other. I don't know.
like they're doing in America.
Like they're doing in America, they're going to push. They're going to fight one ethnic group to another, or one country to another. I don't know how they're going to make that happen. But if they do that, maybe it's going to work. But I don't know really.
Well, Amira, thank you for calling in, and don't be a stranger. You can call in anytime. Thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad the callers called in. Every now and again, you guys know the topic. People try to derail it a little bit, but we always have to come back. But I'm glad everybody shared their opinion here and how they see things. And Visionary of Love saying it's about tolerance. Maybe you joined the show later. People are saying, like in America, they did say love is love. They came out whatsoever. But now, people are being forced to, show their support for that. So it's not about the tolerance. Now it's flipped the other way around. Other people are not having issues with what people do in their private life. But the topic is about the presidents using their power to push an agenda on the people that the majority is totally against. So, like, they use Obama's liking, for instance, we talked about the shootings, how it's so similar to Obama era, how the pattern followed. So that's what the topic was about. But yeah, go back, check the beginning of the show, and you will see exactly what we're talking about. But ladies and gentlemen, I've learned quite a bit here today, and I hope you have as well. But people, wake up, man. Use your own sense. Use your brain. You don't have to go along with things that do not sit well with you. It's just plain and simple like that. And At the end of the day, the truth shall set all of us free. Love will conquer, not hate. I'm not talking about the fake love, the one that people pretend. Now I'm talking about the real love where you love all people, and, not base it on emotion or anger. But until next time, I hope you guys have a wonderful Sunday evening or night wherever you are. I will see you guys another day.
Entre más lejos, más feliz. Era un veneno y lo bebí. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Siempre sé la peli esa actriz, pero ya vamos llegando al fin. Yeah, yeah. Somos felices a distancia. Ya no aguanto tu fragancia. Tú no haré consentir.